Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Word Origins 242. The word origin today is geek. Okay, if somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. If someone calls a person a geek, he or she is an expert in a more technical field, especially concerned with computers. That's why we often hear computer geeks sometimes put together. A person, or a second meaning here, of course, person who is greatly interested in a field activity, but often has, poor social skills, is unfashionable, and usually with a little bit of an odd personality, etc. So this is the negative part that we often heard, that if somebody's referred to as a geek. All right, let's continue. The origin of this term is from carnival slang. A geek was originally a carnival worker who was unskilled and often given the task of entertaining an audience by biting off the heads of animals, especially chickens. This eventually came to mean a socially undesirable person who was unskilled. Okay. The term itself may have derived from Middle or Low German word of geek or gack, to mean fool, friend, or simpleton. So that's originally where the idea kind of came from. Okay, good. All right, and we got 5 examples to show just how we use it. So here's the first one. Bill Gates was often referred to as a computer geek, one, because of his expertise with computers, but also his personality seemed to be socially awkward. Yeah, I can remember when I was first going to, when I was going to college. And at that time, if somebody in college or in high school was called a geek, wasn't a compliment. Usually meant that you had poor social skills. It was a little bit on the nerdy sort of category too. And at that time, this was before the PC. Nobody really had it. And it was usually people that were kind of like loners, that were socially unacceptable, that were the first ones that were actually into geeks. So this is why this kind of crossed over this way. However, the perception now has changed a lot. Let's continue. Here's the second one. Because computers became so popular and widely used, nowadays many people will often admit to being computer geeks. It's not, especially if you're not in school anymore and you're really into computers and things like that. It's not kind of a shameful thing to say anymore. Sometimes it's even said with pride, that you are into this, because the perception of computers has completely changed. Number 3, many computer geeks became successful and wealthy. Well, this also helped to change the perception of geeks in this way. Hey, you become wealthy, you become rich, and a lot of advantages to that. So that kind of takes away from your socially unacceptable category. So let's continue. But number 4, we could still sometimes hear this. Those cool high school kids would never hang out with those geeks. In this sense, it goes back to the original one here of poor social skills, unfashionable, maybe even a little bit of an odd personality. Okay, good. And the 5th one here. Her brother is a real Star Wars geek. All right, now this isn't really, some sort of technical skill. This is one where we talk about that, you might be involved in some sort of an activity, where you have a lot of interest in just this activity. You could be kind of a geek in that sort of sense too. So that's why we might hear it with the last one here. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope you have a clearer, a better feel of this word now. Hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.